One nation,
One united vision.
good day Philippines!
Good day, Southern Mindanao.
Today is March 6, 2020 and you're watching SBC News. I am Hester Micaela Molina,
Delphi Angela Salsas.
bringing you the hottest news.
That is surely no bias.
For the headline,
For international news, UK appoints new ambassador to the US. Deadliest day for coronavirus as mainland China records 86 fatalities while US announces first American death. Trump's Middle East peace plan rejected by EU amid concerns over territory. For the local news, death toll in Davao del Sur earthquake rises to 9. Today shuts popular action site in Davao del Sur due to African swine fever. Philippine Air Force in Mindanao implements safety precautions to fight the deadly virus.
for the sports news, HEC wildcards are 2020 PCCL Condor Cup Mindanao champs.
For the feature, Verspa, Bunny in Mind.
We'll be right back after a short break.
I might drink it when it's cold with a flavor so bold you could feel it in your toes. Cold like a spice soda, cold like a spice soda, cold like a spice soda, cold like a spice soda. I might drink it when it's hot, I might drink it when it's cold with a flavor so bold you could feel it in your toes. Cold like a spice soda, 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 like a spice soda. Cold like a spice soda, cold like a
UK appoints new ambassador to the US. Here's James Bonatan for the news.
The United Kingdom appointed a new ambassador to the United States more than 6 months after the previous ambassador resigned following a leak of his private diplomatic cables, disparaging the Trump administration. Ambassador Karen Pierce will be the first woman to hold the top envoy spot in Washington. She takes on the role at a challenging time as the US continues to diverge from its allies on a number of major foreign policy issues. And the US and UK chart their bilateral course post-Brexit. Pierce is currently the British ambassador to the United Nations in New York and a permanent representative at the UN Security Council. Pierce said that she was honored to have been asked to represent the UK in the US. The British Embassy has been held by Charge d'Affaires Michael Tatham since July 2019. The former UK ambassador to the US, Kim The Rock, resigned after a series of leaked diplomatic cables revealed he had told 10 Downing Street that the Trump administration was inept and clumsy. His resignation came after Trump said the White House would no longer deal with The Rock, who Trump called not liked or well thought of within the US. The Rock also left his post after then Prime Minister candidate Johnson refused to support him.
Deadliest day for coronavirus as the mainland China records 86 fatalities while US announces first American death. Here's Joanna Tega for the news.
Mainland China at its deadliest day in the coronavirus outbreak, with authorities reporting 86 fatalities from pneumonia-like illness that is paralyzing much of the country. A total of 750 people have died from the virus and 34,546 were infected in mainland China by the end of February 7, China's National Health Commission said. Meanwhile, it emerged that a 60-year-old United States citizen had died from the virus at Jinmintian Hospital in Wuhan on February 6, according to the U.S. Embassy in Beijing, marking the first death of a foreigner from the virus. Japan also reported its first suspected death of coronavirus in Wuhan on Saturday. According to an announcement from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, a Japanese man in the 60s died of pneumonia. The hospital that treated him was inconclusive of the cause of pneumonia. Globally, the virus has now infected more than 302 people in another 37 countries and territories, and killed a Chinese man in the Philippines and a 39-year-old male in Hong Kong. New cases were confirmed in Malaysia, Taiwan, and Japan on Saturday. To stop the virus from spreading further, Beijing has taken the unprecedented step of trying to quarantine entire cities in Hubei. About 60 million people are under various travel restrictions as roads are blocked, train stations closed, and flights cancelled. Researchers are working around the clock to understand the coronavirus, how infectious it is, and how exactly it is transmitted. Fears over the epidemic have prompted people to stock up on face masks, which has led to a worldwide shortage of supplies of essential domestics. Governments worldwide appear to be exercising an abundance of caution in stemming the spread of the virus, issuing various levels of travel warnings for travel to China and increasing screenings of arrivals from the country. Several major airlines have cancelled or scaled back flights to and from mainland China. Back to you, Delphi.
Trump's Middle East peace plan rejected by EU amid concerns over territory. Here's Aliana Pasilan for the news.
Donald Trump's Middle East peace plan has been rejected by the European Union over concerns about Israel's plans to annex more Palestinian land. EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell reaffirmed the bloc's commitment to a two-state solution, and he said the U.S. President's initiative announced in the White House last week departs from these internationally agreed parameters. In a statement, Mr. Borrell said, to build a just and lasting peace, the unresolved final status issues must be decided through direct negotiations between both parties. This includes notably the issues related to borders, the status of Jerusalem, security, and the refuge question. We are especially concerned by statements on the prospect of annexation of the Jordan Valley and other parts of the West Bank. While it promises a Palestinian state eventually, Mr. Trump's plan falls far short of minimal Palestinian demands and would leave large parts of the occupied West Bank in Israeli hands. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who wants to move forward with plans to annex West Bank territory, welcomed the scheme. But Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas dismissed it as nonsense, while Gulf Arab states called it bias. The Palestinians want all of the West Bank and East Jerusalem, areas captured by Israeli in the 1967 Middle East War, for an independent state and the removal of more than 700,000 Israeli settlers from these areas. But the Trump plan echoes Mr. Netanyahu's hardline nationalist vision for the region, ignoring many of the Palestinians' core demands. Back to you, Hester.
The borders travel ban from China province amid coronavirus scare. Here's Stephanie Corbera.
President Rodrigo Duterte has issued an order to temporarily stop the entry of all visitors from China's Hubei province, where Wuhan, epicenter of the novel coronavirus, is located. His spokesperson said on January 31, 2020, the Chinese government has locked down Hubei since January 24. Salvador Panelo, in an interview with reporters, clarified that all foreign nationals and not just Chinese will be banned from entering the country amid a continued rise of coronavirus cases in the neighboring nation. Panelo also defended the move to limit the ban to Hubei, saying there has been no official communication about confirmed cases outside Ground Zero. The Health Department said it will recommend an expansion of the travel ban to more areas and provinces in China as soon as new information on cases come in. Senator Bongo, a close ally of Duterte, said the president set a meeting with medical experts and key government officials to discuss all necessary measures to prevent the spread of the novel coronavirus. Rest assured that the Duterte administration takes this threat seriously, he said. Vice President Lenny Robredo told the Duterte administration to immediately act on recommendations to contain the spread of the virus, such as imposing a travel ban from China and planning for possible evacuation if necessary. Even before the Philippines recorded its first case, several sectors, including numerous lawmakers, had clamored for the national government to impose a travel ban from China to stop the entry of the deadly virus. But on Wednesday, Duterte rejected the cause. He said imposing a travel ban might be difficult to implement. Back to you, Delphi.
VIVOX detects ngayon having critically in past 2 days. Here's James Bernard for the news.
The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLS, on February 45 said that the summit crater of the Mayon volcano has been detected having a crater glow in the past 2 days. In a 4 p.m. bulletin, Facebook said that the crater glow was likely caused by hot magmatic gases heating the overlaying atmosphere. The crater glow, Facebook added, suggests that possibility that remnant magma may be quietly rising to the shallow levels of the edifice. Facebook further said that the volcano's edifice was detected having slight swelling or inflation, which began in February 2019. These observations indicate that Mayon's recent behavior has been mainly driven by changes occurring within magma already in place beneath the edifice, rather than by renewed magma intrusion events, Facebook said. Dave Rivera, a Facebook science research specialist, told Inquirer in a phone interview that Mayon's activity was normal since it is an active volcano. Alert Level 2 remains hoisted over Mayon, meaning it is at a moderate level of unrest. The agency further warned that ashfall, sudden explosions, lava collapse, and pyroclastic density currents can occur without warning, and can threaten areas in the upper to middle slopes of Mayon. In January 2018, Mayon had an eruption that sent a huge gray column of magma fragments, ash, and steam 10 kilometers into the sky. During that time, it prompted Feebles to raise Alert Level 4 over Mayon. Back to you, Hester.
Tells us to offer free training courses for repatriated OFWs. Here's Francis Banya for the news.
Donald Trump's Middle East peace plan has been rejected by the European Union over concerns about Israel's plans to annex more Palestinian land. EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell reaffirmed the bloc's commitment to a two-state solution, and he said the US President's initiative announced in the White House last week departs from these internationally agreed parameters. In a statement, Mr. Borrell said, to build a just and lasting peace, the unresolved final status issues must be decided through direct negotiations between both parties. This includes notably the issues related to borders, the status of Jerusalem, security, and the refuge question. We are especially concerned by statements on the prospect of annexation of the Jordan Valley and other parts of the West Bank. While it promises a Palestinian state eventually, Mr. Trump's plan falls far short of minimal Palestinian demands and would leave large parts of the occupied West Bank in Israeli hands. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who wants to move forward with plans to annex West Bank territory, welcomed the scheme. But Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas dismissed it as nonsense, while Gulf Arab states called it bias. The Palestinians want all of the West Bank and East Jerusalem, areas captured by Israeli in the 1967 Middle East War, for an independent state and the removal of more than 700,000 Israeli settlers from these areas. But the Trump plan echoes Mr. Netanyahu's hardline nationalist vision for the region, ignoring many of the Palestinians' core demands. Back to you, Hester.
We'll be right back after a short break.
Sa roller coaster, gugulo ka sa saya!
They shut down popular hug action site in Davao del Sur due to African swine fever. Here's Stephanie Palmero for the news.
The Department of Agriculture in Davao Region 11 said that it temporarily shut down the popular auction site for hogs in Suluk, Davao del Sur, over because of the rising cases of the African swine fever or ASF virus in the region. At least 1,000 hogs changed the hands at the auction site on almost a daily basis, crossing 80 in Sloop Davao del Sur, with traders from neighboring areas coming over to buy stocks either for a racing or for meat. Ricardo Niante, the DA Director for Southern Mindanao, told the Davao del Sur Douglas Cagas and the other provincial officials on Wednesday, February 5, that he had already coordinated with the Sloop Town Mayor Jose Jimmy Sigurino over the agency's decision to temporarily close the auction site. He said this was a part of the DA's move to contain the ASF infection, which started in Don Marcelino, Davao Occidental, and had since spread to the outskirts of Davao City. Continuing the auction of the animals could trigger infection not only in Davao del Sur but in other areas as well, Niante said. He said that the sellers at the auction site remain to understand the importance of stopping the activities for the moment, as continuing with it could ruin their livelihood in the long run. Onyanto said that the DA will find ways to extend the assistance to the vendors, locally known as viajeros, as the shutdown of the auction could also deprive them of their income. We will do our part by helping those who will be affected by closure of the auction site, because it is our duty to provide the financial assistance so that their families will not be suffering from hunger, Onyanto said. And stressing the need to shut down the auction site, Onyanto said that the viajeros would purchase hogs from the various areas of the Davao del Sur and Davao Occidental and put them on sale in Sloop. Mindanao Development Authority Chairman Manuel Piñol earlier said the so-called viajeros would also buy a sick pig and bargain and sell them at higher prices. Their sources included Davao Occidental, the center of the ASF infection in Mindanao. This is dangerous because a pig sick with the ASF could be bought by those from other areas and will infect healthy stocks, Piñol added. Davao Occidental Governor Claudio Bautista said no live hogs or meat products could be transported out of the ground zero until after the problem had been fully addressed. Back to you, Pastor.
Death toll in Davao del Sur earthquake rises tonight. Here's Chara Luisa for the news.
The death toll in the December 15 earthquake that rocked Davao del Sur and other areas in Mindanao has risen tonight, according to the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC. The NDRRMC said in its 6 a.m. situational report on Wednesday, December 18, that in Davao region and Sox region, 111 people were injured in a magnitude 6.9 earthquake and 1 person remained missing. In those regions, 41 public structures were damaged. 9 of them totally damaged, including the DRRM office and the operations center in Matanda, and the Magsaysay Municipal Hall in Davao del Sur, and the Matandang Public Market in Sarangay. The strongest tremor recorded since the December 15 earthquake was the magnitude 5.3 earthquake that struck Padana, Davao del Sur at 4:18 a.m. on Wednesday. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PHIVOLCS, said it expected more aftershocks as the fault that generated Sunday's quake continued to move, so far generating more than 700 aftershocks. PHIVOLCS said the December earthquakes in Davao del Sur were generated by newly discovered active faults and other fault lines. In a letter to Davao del Sur Governor Douglas Cagas, PHIVOLCS officer in charge Renato Solidum informed the governor that towns of Magsaysay, Matanao, and Kiblawan were also traversed by the Cotabato fault system. Then there is also the Columbia fault system that affect Matanao town. Solidum said that ang Bulan fault, which stretches from Bansalan to Malalag town, also cuts through Matanao, Hagonoy, Kiblawan, Sulok, and Padana. There is also the Central Digas system fault. Solidum said the movement of any of these faults can also trigger the movement of other faults near it. Solidum said the movement can generate weak to strong tremors. He explained that while the Digas fault can only possibly generate up to a magnitude 6.3 tremor, its neighbor, the Tangbulan fault, can produce up to a magnitude 7.2 quake, similar to what the Cotabato fault system can generate. There are also areas in Davao del Sur at risk of liquefaction, including some parts of Davao City, according to the government-operated website, in his letter to Kagas Solidum, an undersecretary at the Department of Science and Technology, said that they continue to map double dosure for other possible faults. He said he hoped the identification of the mean faults could serve as a guide to the Provincial Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council to keep our infrastructure safe from the resilient against other earthquake hazards. Back to you, Delphi.
Philippine Air Force Unit in Mindanao implements safety precautions to fight the virus. Here's Hannah Rico for the
A unit of the Philippines Air Force in Mindanao has taken proactive measures to prevent the possible spread of the coronavirus disease 2019 or COVID-19 among its personnel and staff. The Tactical Operations Wing Eastern Mindanao said Friday that the measures were implemented in line with the directive of Major General Alden Paredes to protect every Air Force personnel from the disease and collaborate with stakeholders in addressing the threat of the COVID-19. Colonel Denise Estrella, Wing Commander of the TOW East Mindanao, said a troop information and education seminar was conducted to educate the personnel on the nature of the coronavirus and its impact around the world. Tarpaulins and signage reminding the personnel of the symptoms and the do's and the don'ts to prevent the personnel from acquiring the virus were also placed in strategic areas inside their base camp at Davao State Air Station in Sasa, Davao City. The unit also attended a discussion with shackled safety measures and best practices for passengers during commercial flights that was spearheaded by visiting personnel from the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines or CAAP. As such, the said practices were adopted by the Davao Region's Tactical Operations Group in the security screening of all passengers boarding military aircrafts. Military pilots arriving at the base will also be subjected to body temperature screening to ensure that they are free from COVID-19. An isolation area inside the base camp was established for people suspected to have acquired the COVID-19, especially those showing symptoms such as colds or flu. Estrella vowed that the TOW East Mindanao will always support the government's effort to ensure the safety and security of the citizens. Martin A. Sadongdong. Back to you, Hester.
HGC Wildcats are 2020 PCC LPS Recaps Mindanao Champs. Here's Johan Ortega for the news.
2020 PCL Standard Cup Mindanao Finals Champions Holy Trinity College of General Santos City, along with SBP Regional Commissioner Attorney Francis Calatrava and City Commissioner Oca Salvador. Davao City, leaning on their veteran experiences, the Holy Trinity College Wildcats of General Santos City outplayed surprise finals qualifier Mats College of Technology Navigators 85-82 Wednesday night to crown themselves as the 2020 Philippine Collegiate Champions League, played at the Davao City Recreation Center. It was the 9th Mindanao Division title for Apolinar Tohiro's coach Wildcats and another trip to the PCL Visayas Mindanao Finals, which will be also held here on February 7 to 20. Everjoy Dialogo led the scoring course for HTC Wildcats with 19 points backed by the pair of Louis Omadle and Fernando Cortez, who finished 13 and 12 baskets respectively. Despite the trailing in the final minute, Cortez found himself open for a layup which had them the lead 78-77, while Omadle's 3-point play granted them the upper hand for good 81-79. With 28 seconds left, playmaker Ian De La Cruz desperate triple cut the lead 82-83. With 7 seconds remaining before Cortez had them at bay with a long free throw for 84-82 advantage. De La Cruz finished with 9 points to back Phil Castimayor, Livy Gloria, and Gab Ibanez, who had 19, 10, and 13 for the Tommy Colados coach Mats Navigators on a losing effort. Both teams, along with Holy Cross of Davao College, to keep third place after beating Agro Industrial Foundation College Sailors 71-64, will see action in PCCL Visayas Mindanao Finals. Other members for HTC Wildcats includes Jay Poral, Ednor Akad, Jewish Garcia, Dimul Kosip, Edmar Bacalso, Jarlo Ningasa, Justin Iranes, and Richard Ramos. Backing up De La Cruz, Castimayor, Gloria and Ibanez were navigators, Arlito Balawag, Adam Batersal, Mico de la Peña, Rino Caporal, Gelan Malante, Frances Duque, Hilda Vente, Renato Saldaga, Jess Vergara, and Hartley Fernandez. For the HCDC Crusaders, its lineup consists Joshua Catalan, Paul Turco, Victor Marquez, Kenneth Caluduyong, Kenneth Yap, Brian Garde, Emiliano Escalera, Ricky Rales, Gab Lazarga, Jean De La Cruz, JD Colinares, Kane Montero, Cian Astilo, Shaq De Macuta, and Miguel Diola with Rocky Mejo as head coach backed by Juan Carlos Salvador, Paul Salvador, and Cartilo Ordanes. Back to you, Delphi.
Here's pa, body and mind. Here's Aliana Grace Casilan for the details.
So we're here at First Spa. Very good for relaxation for body and mind. So this is the owner of First Spa, Ma'am Lolita Abellaneda. Good day, ma'am. I am Aliana Grace L. Basilan, and I am here to ask you some questions about your business. So, how did you get your idea or concept for this business?
Actually, I am fond of visiting different spas in Ligo City, in Davao City, and every time I visit the spa, it seems that I cannot get the services I wanted. So I realized to invest in my own business wherein I can avail all the services I wanted in just one stop.
What services do you offer?
Actually, we have a lot of services. We have Moroccan bath, which is first in Ligos. We have skincare, we have massage, we have facial, we have nails, lashes, threading, RF, glutathione, and even waxing, and a lot more.
What is unique about your business from others?
What is unique about us is it is a one-stop spa wherein you can avail almost of all the services you wanted to avail just to relax and enjoy. And another thing is, aside from all the services that we have, you get to enjoy the ambience of the spa and of course, the cleanliness.
That's all for today. This is SBC News, giving you the hottest news. Once again, I am Pastor Micaela Molina, Delphi Angela Sosas, saying, people change, things go wrong. Just remember, life goes on. Good day.